Yeah, so that is Morgan, and then that's Blair Bunke. And Blair Bunke, rough. Bunk. I'm sorry if I'm getting it wrong. He's having a rough set of matchups because he just played Paul Heaver, the current world champ.
Oh, wow.
Now he's playing the runner-up from last year who lost to Paul. So he's getting it very stiff here. And Morgan's running Rear Admiral Cherno, which we saw last game, and Soontir fell. And then Blair has some type of Rebel Swarm. So that usually means a bunch of low pilot scale generic pilots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll
I don't know which one
here,
yet.
Lists here in a bit for you guys.
They're both 4-1 with a modified win. So yeah, if any of you guys watched last year, Morgan lost a great game to Paul final round at the final table.
We've got the deck list here. We're going to be getting those just a bit. We're getting those so we can post those on the screen for you guys as they're here setting up asteroids. Now, setup for me is one of those things that I've never really understood the strategy behind. What do you look at when you're setting up asteroids?
I know there are players like Paul Heaver that take way beyond what I do. A lot of it depends on your own personal comfort level flying and piloting the ships near asteroids. For me, I'm pretty confident I can whip around that asteroid, not hit it. So I like to choke up lanes and make it difficult for me and kind of put it on them to avoid them. Some players like to bring the smallest rocks they can, keep them out of the way so they're less of a factor in a fight.
Sure.
I love it if I can make somebody crash on an asteroid. It's going to help me out, deny them shots. So I'll do that whenever chance I get. There's also edge cases, like if you have Dash Rendar or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
right,
so we have lists. Let's see here. What do we got?
It's a pretty similar, so Morgan's running a pretty similar Cherno to what we saw last time. Instead of Veteran Instincts, he's got Predator. He's got Gunner Invader. He's got the engine upgrade, same. And then he's got Rebel Captive, which means the first ship to take a shot at him each turn will get a stress. It's going to be less of a factor with this Rebel Swarm list than it would be if Blair had like a Soontir fell or something like that, which would end up getting double stressed.
Right.
But still a nice thing to have. It shut down your opponent's movement options a little bit. And then he's got Soontir fell and the TIE Interceptor, a pretty standard push the limit, the Royal Guard TIE title, auto thrusters, and stealth device. So that's a pretty standard 35 points, Soontir fell. And he's running at 99 points.
So we've got 100 points, the Rebel Swarm, 5 ships.
Yeah, so 5-ship swarm.
Let's see what we got. 2 blue squadrons.
Both naked, it looks like.
Yeah, we got an A-wing there with... You'll know these better than I will.
That's a Chardan refit, so
there
that's the occupies your missile slot minus 2 points, and then auto thrusters to bring it back up to 17 points.
So that just fills the slot and doesn't give you anything for it? Is there
Correct. It makes it so you get a cheaper ship, but you can't bring a missile.
Gotcha. Okay, interesting. So yeah, it looks like they are just getting done. They've got the asteroids placed. They're placing their original ships.
Yeah, Blair places first. All his ships are pilot skill 2 or 1. Or, excuse me, he's also got a Tala in there, which is pilot skill 4. And he's got that gold squadron. The gold squadron, which is the Y-wing over there, it's in the corner. That's got twin laser turret. It's got the R3A2 stress droid, so he can deal a stress and get one if they're in his arc. And then he's got BTLA4, which lets him, he cannot use the turret as a turret. He can only attack forward, but he can fire his primary weapon and then the turret for a total of 3 attacks each round.
Oh, wow.
So it can be pretty nasty if he can get a ship in arc and in range.
So we should see a lot of dice rolling this game. It'll be very exciting.
Yeah, this will be interesting. He's going to have to block up Soontir, or, I mean, potentially Soontir can win this game by himself if it's flowing enough and if his dice stay hot. And it looks like Morgan's kind of anticipated that. He's sending Soontir, around, kind of flanking here, it looks like. Got all of that ready. So it's going to be a little bit slower moving game just because Blair here has 5 ships instead of 2, which we had on both sides last time. And there's just not anything throwing out as much damage as Corrin, Dash, or Cherno were last turn.
Right.
So I don't think we're going to see these one-shots happening left and right. Well, that's a very scary Rear Admiral Cherno build. 64 points worth of destruction.
So we got Blair getting his ships out on the board there. Letting that A-wing travel the length of the down that side. Everyone else looking to turn in. Maybe he's using the A-wing to get in the back.
Dry Penguin's asking what percentage of players paint their minis. Every X-wing miniature comes pre-painted with a really, frankly, gorgeous paint job. Especially considering, most miniatures games you're sitting there building and assembling, and then painting all your models. Yeah, we still see a significant number of players, especially those who play other miniatures games, decide to customize them a little bit, but it's really not something that you have to do or something that is done by the majority of people.
Yep.
Yeah, Scarlucci brings up the point that if you had told somebody at last year's Worlds that Y-Wings would be one of the most popular ships, they probably wouldn't believe it. And I would agree, and also I've seen that Y-Wings and Lambda shuttles, both of which were around at Worlds last year and the year before, are out in force. The Lambdas tend to have Emperor Palpatine aboard. The Y-Wings tend to have twin laser turret, but there's things mixing it up in both options. So it's kind of cool to see. Cheapest stress spot. Oh, yeah. The gold squadron's a little bit undercosted. That gold is actually worth 26 points.
44, 74. Yeah, 26 would be right.
26.98. Thanks for pointing that out. That would be a heck of a bargain if you could get a stress bot Y-wing turret for 8 points. But we're balanced.
And you run what, 12 of them?
Let's see. I don't even know what your name is, but you're asking if there's a typical move in Storms like his. It just so much depends on the player and how you're going to play it out. I think what he's probably going to do, if I had to guess, the A-wing is going to try and block whoever he wants to shoot, whether it's catching out Soontir or just getting in front of Sharon, keeping him from boosting out of arc. And then everybody else is just going to try and spread out and just line up one big turn and wipe those guys out. Poor Felsrath. He is the loneliest interceptor pilot.
Both players here in their second turn, getting their maneuvers set. Blair finishes first with his 5. Morgan's still thinking about it with his decimator there in the corner.
Somebody else in the chat was asking, newer to the game, Dry Penguin, and he's asking if there is a relationship between X-Wing and Armada, which is a game we'll see tomorrow. There's really not. They're different scales. You can kind of think of it as the zoomed out version of what's happening here. But this is the dogfight like you see in the Star Wars movies where you've got those guys, he's on my tail, that kind of thing, the trench run, stuff like that. Armada's a different game. If you watch tomorrow or Friday, you'll see some of it played.
Yeah.
You can get a better idea of how that works.
Yeah, the schedule's online. Go ahead to our website, and you can see the schedule of when all our other games will be posted there as well.
Yeah, and like those guys said, they are separate games. They have a lot of similar feelings, but check it out on the stream if you want to see. So the one interesting thing is, I guess, he's got the gold behind the Tala, and the gold has to move first, so that gold can't do a 1 straight without hitting.
Right.
Which would annoy the heck out of me.
Yeah, it looks like he's not going to split up. He's going to keep him in that, I don't know if it's, yeah.
I don't think we have all the lists up on a website anywhere yet.
Yeah, I don't know what the plan for that is. Decimator looking like he's just going to keep waiting in the corner.
I think he's kind of letting those guys come to him, and he's probably going to try and then just shoot past them and only take a round or two of firing.
Sure.
But he's really kind of playing it cagey back here. one thing to note, a lot of those ships like the Interceptor, the A-Wing, even the TIE Fighter, they can't actually go slow. A 2 straight's about the slowest they can do.
Right.
So you can't just do a 1 straight and kind of delay, which can sometimes be a problem if you're too close to the guy in front of you, trying to chase him. You'll just hit him no matter what you do. One of the ways you can kind of mitigate that, like Soontir is doing, is, moving forward in that diagonal and barrel rolling back. He can kind of do that indefinitely and creep down that side of the board. Let's see. It looks like we've got a turn or two before shooting starts, so let's give you guys a little bit more info on the Gazanti. I think it's the Gazanti Assault Carrier, which is coming. Imperial Assault Carrier. Yeah, that's what it's called. That's coming for X-Wing. That is the other non-Wave 8 product that we have coming out. And so we've spoiled one of the crew. The Gazanti is a ship, you've seen it probably in Rebels if you watch that cartoon. It carries some TIE fighters on board, and the model will actually be able to dock your TIE fighters. You've got the Agent Callus crew, who's pretty interesting. He's Imperial only 2 points. But at the start of the first round, you choose one enemy small or large ship. When attacking or defending against that ship, you may change one of your eyeballs to a hit or an evade. So a great counter to a 2-ship list. You choose Dash. If you have got Whisper like in that last game, you choose Dash. You get a free mini focus against him all the time. I think we'll see it a lot on Phantoms. We might see it on Decimators as well. And then we get a new TIE Fighter as well. We get a couple new TIE Fighter pilots, but the one that we know about so far is Scourge. He's 17 points, pilot skill 7, TIE Fighter. When attacking a defender that has 1 or more damage cards, roll 1 additional attack die. So he's kind of a cut rate interceptor. He has an EPT, and he's going to get a lot of 3 attack dice, quite a bit, if you can set him up to fire after somebody else. Somebody asked about Soontir Fel, who we are seeing here, flown by Morgan. He is in the Interceptor expansion. He's not in Imperial Aces. So if you want to get him, as well as the other guys like Karner Jax, you'll need to get one of each.
Got Blair there moving his ships out there for the 3rd round. Getting that A-Wing out there. Looks like he's going to try and hit between those 2 asteroids.
I think they're both just kind of waiting to see what the other guy's going to do, see who blinks first.
Yeah, he's moving that Y-Wing at a 3, looks like. And then, is that a Z behind it, I think?
That is the Tala Squadron Z95.
Yep.
The thing that I'd be worried about if I'm Blair now, if I'm setting up this kind of net and closing it, if those ships get out, if they do a long straight and then boost, that's probably your game right there, because you're going to start losing ships pretty darn quick with both those Soontir and Cherno shooting at you. Gearjack asked about how the terrain setup works for these matches. So in X-Wing, each of these players will bring 3 obstacles. They can bring any 3 obstacles from the either core set or the Decimator and the Outrider expansions. That gives you 12 asteroids and 12 debris, or 6 debris to choose from.
Is it 12?
6 debris and 12 asteroids you can choose from. You bring any 3 you want. You keep those same obstacles throughout the whole tournament. You put them in a pool then with your opponent. Whoever has initiative places the first one. There's a buffer zone. They can't be near the edge of the map. It's within range 2. They can't be within range 1 of each other. You just lay them out however you want. So some people have a very specific plan for how they want their rocks to be. Some people literally just throw them up in the air and let them land where they do. So you'll see all types when it comes to setup like that. Players like this on these top tables, I would almost guarantee you they go in with a plan, at least a general idea of what they want to see. The debris from the Raider and the other epic ships is not legal in 100-point dogfight play. So
that's right.
you could use it in a casual game, no problem. You can actually use the Raider or the CR90 or the Transport as terrain as an obstacle if you want in casual play, but in the 100-point tournament format, they are not allowed.
Looks like we've got an attack here.
Yep, this is Cherno shooting at that prototype pilot who's got
that's
auto
right.
thrusters, and he's at range 3, I'm guessing, through a rock. And he probably just rolled a lot of evades, but I have no idea. Oh. Yep, so then he dodged, so gunner goes off. He's shooting again.
And
He
misses.
dodges again. And I'm guessing at this point he's not going to spend the damage to use Vader on that prototype. That would probably be a bad trade.
Yeah.
I think only the A-Wing will get to shoot back. Oh, maybe the A-Wing did take damage.
Let's see, his cards are all over the place over there.
You got to stress somehow. Oh, Rebel Captive.
Yeah, yep.
He shot at Cherno, who has Rebel Captive, so he takes a stress, which won't be a problem for the A-Wing because the A-Wing has an amazing dial.
Yeah.
Hey, Jafar Ironclad, the commentators are me, Matt Holland, and Mark Larson.
I like how the chat is answering the questions for us, so by the time they actually hear us,
Thanks, guys.
it'll have long passed. So well done, everyone. I know there's a bit of a delay between what we see in chat and what you hear from us, so we will attempt to answer as quickly as we can when we see your questions. If we miss something, it's not that we don't want to answer it sometimes. Well, sometimes we can't, but usually we're also looking at the game too. So,
Can we say what we do for FFG?
sure.
I think we can. I'm the demo coordinator. If any of you guys saw the announcement about the flight crew program, that's my show. So I'm in marketing and do that. And what about you?
I am our project coordinator, so I oversee all of our new developments and developments, make sure they're on schedule, on time as close as they can be. We do upwards of 100 different projects every year easily. So it's a big schedule we work on. We do a lot of different things, but it's really exciting.
And yeah, I haven't talked a lot about flight crew on the cast or anything. I'm hoping to do some of that tomorrow, and I'm going to get on Team Covenant about that too. So
Awesome.
if you're interested in flight crew, check out our website. It's our demo program where you can actually help us out demoing games at events. Check it out on the website or pay attention to their videos.
Looks like that was the end of round 3. I don't see any damage unless we lost some shields over there on the Rebel side. I don't.
Nope, the only shot there was that A-Wing and the Decimator shooting at it, and they both dodged.
Yep. Moving into turn 4 for both of them.
Actually, the Decimator might have lost the shield, but it's hard to tell from this
Yeah,
angle.
it's hard to see.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate that you're enjoying the commentary.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot of fun to do, especially after spending 6 or 7 hours on my feet judging X-Wing. I love X-Wing, but it is nice to do this instead of just having to judge. I think we're going to see much more happen this round here as all those guys come into range of Cherno. Tylenol asked if he could have killed that A-Wing with 2 Vader triggers. He could not have because Vader will deal a crit, which will be absorbed by the shields. It's not a face-up damage card like a proton bomb. So 2 of them would kill his shields, so deal 4 damage. No, probably not a great trade at this point. If you guys are enjoying the Twitter updates, that's our coworker Cynthia. She's been working her butt off on social media, so say thanks to her.
Yeah, who's your pick for this match? What do you like?
Man. I honestly have not seen Blair fly. I know that he's a known and pretty good pilot. It's all going to come down to if he can trap the Decimator and Soontir. Because Soontir, I don't really want to admit this, but I lost a game to Soontir with 2 B-Wings and an X-Wing alive versus just Soontir fell. And this was auto thruster stealth device Soontir. And over the course of about an hour, watched him take apart my entire list, never even getting shot, more than maybe 1 crappy shot. So Morgan can really stay on point, and this is, their 6th game. If he's able to stay alert, stay on point with Soontir, he'll win this match. If he makes a mistake, that swarm can capitalize on it.
That's always the problem with a tournament of this size. You're playing so many games. This is game 6. They've got 2 more after this to play. It's a long day of playing games. As much as you love any game, that's a lot of a game to play.
I think the other thing that I almost forgot here that might make a huge difference, that Y-Wing has the stress droid, so R3A2. It also has twin laser turret and BTLA-4. So there's a huge swath out in front of it. Anything within range 2 and 3 and in its arc that if Soontir ends up in, he's going to get double stressed. In addition to the stress he's already carrying from Push the Limit, if that happens, it shuts off his defensive actions. It shuts off all that kind of thing. Makes him very, very vulnerable. So if he can get that off on him, he can probably kill Soontir. And if he's got enough survivors, he can bring down RAC. So when I say RAC, that's Rear Admiral Cherno, who's the decimator.
For Carter in the stream, I'm glad that you still remember Chair from 2 years ago. That's all I'm going to say about that. That was a good year.
Yeah, that would be 3 stress on Soontir, double stressing in addition to the stress that he gets usually from his own actions. And the stress bot would explain why Morgan is being so careful and just trying to kind of dance around. I think he's hoping to suck it in and then go flying right by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do know Blair does have a blog, and I know he does some of his own, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I know he's actually a game I played once. So, like I said, I know I've never played it myself or seen a lot of playing. So we've all seen Morgan last year.
Phoenix has a large ship rule play, and it is. So if any large ship gets to half or less of its starting hit points, that ship is worth half points at that point.
And somebody else asked about Captain Ikun, who's the decimator pilot who, when he overlaps a ship, he does a damage. I know he's in play here at Worlds. I haven't seen him, at least not on the highest table. The top tables tend to be favoring Cherno over him. I've seen one that was, I think it was Cherno and a patrol leader, the generic decimator. It was just those 2 ships. So that's here too. A-Wing is running Chardan refit and auto thrusters.
Here we're going to get some action.
We don't have all the upgrades listed up there. It would just take up too much room. So, yeah, that's why it's back up to 17 points, just like a stock prototype A-Wing would be.
Here we go.
Somebody was asking about the damage deck ruling from last week. So at Worlds, we're just using the new damage deck. We did rule last week that in other tournaments, you can use whichever, the old or the new, depending on what you want to use. Personally, I think it's a great thing for players who are looking to get into the game. Either just have the old core set. People who've been around a long time, maybe you're not interested in the new ships. Maybe you just want, you're flying a TIE Swarm or something, and you're not the new ones. You can use your old damage deck. I think it gives you options, and I think options are a great thing to have. Flight Crew is accepting applications. If you go to our website, it should be in the news very high up, maybe like the first or second page. You can find out more about Flight Crew there and apply and send me your information.
I think we have done with maneuvers here. We're going to get in some.
Yeah, this is going to be brutal for Cherno.
Yep.
That A-Wing got into a spot that kept Cherno from boosting, which would have probably dodged an arc or 2.
What's he going for there? Is he on the Y-Wing in the back?
Yeah, so he's got to kill the Y-Wing to let Soontir really kind of go wreak havoc. So if he kills that Y-Wing, Soontir can do whatever he wants. With that Y-Wing there, it's a huge threat.
What makes the Y-Wing such a big target?
It's that stress droid. So he's able to just give a stress to Soontir if Soontir's in front of him. And that's just going to shut him down.
Yep. And let's see. We've got 2 hits and 2. Let's see here. It's going to turn that into 3 hits and a crit. And the defense is going to roll. That's pretty good. He blocked all but 1.
Hey, guys. Thanks for linking to the Flight Crew page. That's got the article, and then you can actually find the page and the application through there.
Yeah. Perfect.
For now, it's just North America, U.S., and Canada so far. Yeah, I agree. I think that the A-Wing was a little bit unexpected, and he was hoping to get Cherno out of some arcs and go after that Y-Wing. But the A-Wing did a perfect block there. It kept him from getting away.
Looks like he's just inside range 2. Oh, can he clear it? I don't know what they're going to rule there. That's really tight.
We're wondering if it's going to be range 2 or range 3?
Yeah, they're trying to see if it's range 2 or 3. It's really tight.
I know the head judge on this table here is either Alex or I think Wade or maybe even Frank. So you've got a very good judge out there to make these determinations.
Yep.
That's Frank's finger because it's got a Band-Aid on it.
That's right. I don't remember what
Sad
he did,
that I know this. So it's already going to be obstructed. So that Z is already rolling 3 defense dice. If it's range 3, he's rolling 4. Doesn't have an action though, so it's not totally unreasonable that he could kill it. It's also very important because Sharon's, oh sorry, that's Ryan. Sharon's ability is only range 1 to 2. So if he's at range 3, he doesn't get that free mini focus, which turns into a crit.
Right.
So that's why they're being so careful. Morale, I'm honestly not sure exactly which round we're on. We're in round 6 of the tournament.
Oh, turn
in terms of this game,
turn 4 or 5.
Turn 4 or 5, yeah. I'm glad you guys like that dice cam. It makes our job a lot easier to see what's actually happening.
Yeah.
And it's great for you guys too. Vidaline, thanks for doing everything you're doing out there, helping spread the love.
See, that's 2 misses there.
Oh, that's the Z shooting back at Cherno.
Yep. So a lot of time looking at that with a lot of misses being rolled. So
what I found is X-Wing has a funny thing. When you forget an effect, say you forget to roll an extra attack dice, or for somebody forget to shoot, I'm sure it's just confirmation bias, but I also feel like 99% of the time when you go back and redo that or re-roll that, it ends up not mattering at all. It ends up being blanks. I don't know how many times I've seen that happen. So we're all taking our shots, double stressing the Y-Wing and the Decimator. Looks like Blair was helpful enough to bring some extra stress.
Yeah, wow.
He's probably going to need them. So this is a 3-shot attack on that Decimator. Oh, somebody's asking about the Boba crew card. I can't tell you what it might be, but it's pretty cool.
Oh, we got a laser level out here. This is just getting
yeah.
all the
So
high-tech
this is
stuff.
checking the arc on the Bs to see if they have shots too.
This is great. Let's see, we got the B-wing there, shooting in.
I don't know which B-wing this is shooting. One's got a target lock, one doesn't.
It's the front one. I don't know which one has the target lock. It's like that's just a miss. He's gonna
nope,
use
he's spinning the target lock. Yep.
That's much better. And he's going to take 2.
So that's a crit. That is a console fire on Cherno. Well, Mark, do you know what a console fire does?
Prevents you from using actions on your action bar, I believe.
No, console fire is
close.
it's an action to flip this card face down. Whenever it's face up, you have a chance of taking damage at the start of combat.
Oh, that's that one. That's right.
Yeah, and then a minor hull breach too. So minor hull breach. I am completely blanking on what the heck that does. I believe you cannot, if you execute a red maneuver, you have a chance of taking damage. Somebody on the stream tell me if I'm right. Well, I Google it.
In 10 seconds, we will know. Can you beat Matt Googling?
Oh, Rainbow Gash. That is a cool suggestion. We talked about it a little bit, while we were setting up this year, but it's very, very hard to manage that many cameras. Kind of, I know what you're saying. Having the camera like in a poker tournament that shows the face down information.
Yep.
It would be awesome. I just don't know that it's something that's very feasible. Minor hull breach. After executing a red maneuver, roll 1 attack die. On a hit result, suffer 1 damage. So that's what the Decimator has, in addition to the console fire. Oh, and the Decimator looks like also took a major hull breach?
Yep.
Oh, it's major, yeah. So yeah, all damage cards are dealt face up.
That's from this point forward.
Yeah,
right?
the
Yep.
was a little bit blurry. So it's a major hull breach. He can flip it down as an action, but he's double stressed, so he's not going to be able to.
Wow.
Every damage card he takes next round is face up, which is going to be brutal. That's what I get for Googling.
Say, I don't know where they're at. Oh, they're doing maneuvers. That's what. Yeah,
that's about the worst hit crit a decimator can take.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
There is no minor hull breach in the new deck, which I should remembered, but again, this is round 6. So major hull breach replaced minor hull breach. It is pretty brutal for a ship like the decimator, especially when you have 2 stress and are going to probably be blocked next turn unless you run away. So it might come down to Soontir really having to bat cleanup here, which is going to be a tall order, even for somebody as talented as Morgan. So Dry Penguin, I think, is asking about what the strategy is going to be with Soontir. So Soontir is a great ship. He's very hard to kill. He does a lot of damage. But if he gets in arc of that Y-Wing, he's pretty much done for. So Soontir has to be conservative as much as he wants to go in there and kill stuff. Yeah, and as Jafar points out, Soontir is scared of that stress spot because if he takes the stress, he's just a sitting duck. Yeah, and I think that Blair, as somebody else pointed out, Blair's just going to go to try and kill. There's no reason not to. In this position, you know, it's probably worth parking a B-Wing on that to try and get a block, although I don't know that you're going to be able to. I see Cherno hard turning away from all this, but he can't boost because he's stressed. Dry Penguin asks if the decimator dies, is this pretty much a game? It's not, because Soontir is so maneuverable. He can just, you know, those ships can die the death of 1,000 cuts unless they're flown very, very well to block him up. And it does look like Blair goes for the flying over the debris field, which is going to stress his B-Wing, but hopefully line up a block and keep Cherno in position to just bring him down.
Yeah.
So I think that was a smart move. It's a good trade. Take a stress and a 1 in 8 chance of a damage.
Yep. For
either a great block or a great range 1 shot into Cherno's rear arc. Oh, Phaser Tech brings up a great question. What do we suggest for people doing an all-day tournament like this, like regionals, nationals, world? What do you think? What's something that you would do in a situation like this? Like, what have you done to keep your energy up all day, Mark?
The important there's lots of interesting considerations even before you come. I don't play a lot of X-Wing. I play a lot of card game tournaments, and so I look at bringing things. Here you bring lists that can play somewhat quickly. I don't want to play something that's too slow. That's going to take up all my time. I want to break between matches, which is really important. Yep. You also just want to bring stuff with you. Bring lots of water. Anytime
Water's
you're doing
huge.
something forever, I've got 2 water bottles next to me here today, and I'm just commentating. Yeah, lots of water, and remember that every match is different. I think that's another important. A lot of people go tilt really fast.
Yep.
That one is not the end. There's a lot of games to play. You're going to fall down in that strength of schedule.
Cherno is trying to turn. He's going to get blocked here. Looks like he was willing to go over the debris too and hoping to outguess the rebels, but it's not going to work. He's going to take a lot of damage here. All going to be face up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, make sure you snack, make sure you're drinking. Yep. All that kind of stuff is very important because a lot of these tournaments, Gen Con, Worlds, regionals, big regionals, they go all day, guys, and a lot of times they're one-day tournaments. You know, we've played finishing rounds here at the Game Center where it's 1 a.m. and you really need to be on point all day.
Yeah, we had one last year, I think, end at like 3 in the morning. It's just it's a long, brutal day, but it can be fun too. That's the thing I think is important.
Yep.
It's do is we have a great community, and as high stakes as this tournament may be, it's not huge stakes, and you should still be having fun. Like, if you're not having fun, there's no reason to do that. There's so many other good things to do in life.
Absolutely.
Have fun. It's a game.
Somebody asked about that 2K turn from the B-Wing.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest, I'm not totally sure. I'm thinking that he didn't want to have to go around that asteroid, so he just K-turned and he's going to come around at the other direction. That would be what I'm... That would be why I would do that. I'm not sure it's what I would have chosen to do, but I also don't think it was totally crazy.
What round? It's round 6 in the tournament. I believe this is turn 7 in the match.
Something like that. It's definitely round 6 in the tournament, though.
Yep. And Pop-Tarts. My favorite thing is almonds to bring in a tournament like this.
Yep. One of the nice things about having a tournament here at the Game Center is we have a full kitchen.
Yeah.
they're cooking some great food. They've got drinks. They've got all that kind of stuff here right on site. So you're not having to get delivery. You're not having to run out and get it. So one of the awesome things about having Worlds here at the Fantasy Flight Game Center.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it's for the whole weekend. So this weekend is just Worlds. If you're looking in the area and looking to play games, sadly this weekend is the one weekend of the year it's closed. Otherwise, any weekend, come out, hang out with us. You know, there's always games of X-Wing going on at the GC. I think almost every time I come here, I see someone playing X-Wing. So yeah.
Guys are asking about Cherno's hull. Honestly, I don't know exactly how much hull he has. I can't see from here. It looks like he's got at least 2 crits and 1 face down. So maximum, he's got 9 hull left. And actually, he's got 3 crits, I think. It's really hard to tell from our view. So guys, so sorry about that. Yeah, the Fantasy Flight Game Center is in Minnesota. That's our venue here. It's right across the street from our office, which is awesome. But it's a great game store right here in Roseville, Minnesota, which is where the event's being held.
And no table fees. If you come here and play, pull up a table, grab food or drink if you want, and we've got also a whole library of games you can play. So
got a huge wall of our games and tons of games to play.
Yep.
We also have beer on tap.
Let's see, we got. That's a lot of crits.
Ooh.
Looks like Morgan's a little disappointed.
He must have shooting at the Z95? Oh, no, he's shooting at the A-Wing.
Yeah.
A-Wing rolled. So the A-Wing takes a little bit of damage, I'm guessing. Sorry, guys. Got caught up in talking about how awesome the Fantasy Flight Game Center is and didn't quite tell what was going on there.
Yeah, it's tough to see who is attacking who here.
Hey, Ox81, it is a little bit far from Germany, but we have, I think, at least 2 or 3 Germans here today. So where are you?
Yeah.
All damage cards dealt face up. So I could vote it myself and do it face up.
I think we're now going to see everybody tear into Sharon.
Yeah, I expect to see some fireworks here.
I guess Soontir has to. Oh, we're getting a ruling, it looks like.
So I've got a major hull breach. If I used to use Vader crew, will I deal my face?
Oh, the question is, he's got major hull breach. If he uses Vader's crew, will he take both of those damages face up?
Now that is an interesting interaction that has never come up for me.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little bit curious to see what they will rule on this myself. That's a very interesting
thing. We've got the
thing.
card out here somewhere. Let me pull the card up. Matt brought his whole binder of cards today. If you perform an attack against an enemy ship,
Suffer 2 damage.
you can suffer 2 damage to cause that ship to suffer 1 critical damage. I think they're face up.
That is brutal.
Poor Vader.
Here in Minnesota, we have a lot of snow. We have the Fantasy Flight Game Center. And we have the Mall of America. So there's actually a lot to say for coming here.
I believe recently chosen as one of the nicest cities in the United States to come.
Yeah, actually, Minneapolis was voted. It was the #1 best city in the United States to live in.
And currently no
snow.
So
I don't know what the
snow.
ruling on that was, but I'm guessing we'll find out here when Morgan decides to not Vader or to Vader.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's face up, I doubt he's going to Vader. That would be brutal.
That would be terrible.
He's going. Oh, wow, he does it.
Oh, he does it anyways.
Whoa.
Damaged engine and I have
else.
no idea. The direct hit goes to the Z95 and takes it off the table before it shoots. So was it a good move? I don't know. Okay, yeah, so he did, Vader 2 damage, which were face up. Man, he took that on the chin. He did take the Z95 out, though, so it's probably a wash since the Z probably could have done 2 damage.
Yep.
This guy, I think the angle is that's the closest. Would you agree there? Yeah. I'm just not sure where that rock ends, though.
So got rid of one of Blair's ships. He's got 4 to go there, and that Decimator is looking to be in a world of hurt.
Yeah, he's got 4 crits at least. There's a damaged engine in there and something else. So he's stressed. That means he cannot turn.
Yep.
If he turns, Blair picks the dial for him. So that's pretty brutal. And yeah, and like we said, it was probably a wash. Got rid of the Z in the deal because he was going to take a lot of damage on the counterattack.
Yep.
From that Z. I mean, 2 damage is not out of the question with 3 dice and no defense dice to cut it. But yeah, keep in mind, Fell's still on the board. Fell can clean up all these ships if he's flown well and he gets what he needs in terms of maneuvers and luck. That was another crit. I didn't even see what it was.
I know. It's the whole crit deck at this point is face up on that poor.
Yeah, I think we can assume every crit in the game is now on RIC. Someone points out in the chat there are old pilots and bold pilots, but no old bold pilots. That is an amazing quote. He doesn't get defense dice because the Decimator has 0 agility, and they're at range 1, so he doesn't get an extra dice for range or an obstruction. So yeah, he's just anything that gets rolled, he's taking face up.
So really, you're just counting on the fact you have a lot of hit points to soak all that damage.
Yeah. At this point, I'm worried that Morgan has every crit with damage.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad over there.
We may have to invent some new ones with how
I can't even see the card.
Yep.
And yeah, the Rebels only have 87 points left because they did lose the Z95. They're just staying updated. So in this situation, I see Cherno going, full tilt, trying to get as far forward as he can. But the question is, I think he's got does he have a 4 straight? Sure, I hope he has a 4 straight, or this is going to be a short game.
Yeah. Looks like he is just maneuvering to expect him to move forward, and they get a bunch of shots off on him.
So interesting. I might have crashed that Y into the blue to keep it in front of the Decimator. But the thing is, the Decimator is probably going to jump over him anyways, so I don't know that it matters. Decimator will pick up another stress from hitting that debris field too, which is pretty crazy.
They're all just circling now.
So here's where we'll see that B-wing, the K-turn. Here's where we'll see it pay off. He's now, if that Decimator goes fast forward, he's now in perfect position to unload on it.
Yep.
So I think that was what he was planning ahead.
Why are we going to make a turn, looks like?
Yeah.
We got a shot of all the...
Oh, it's damage sensor array, major hull breach, console fire, direct hit, damage engine, and weapons failure. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. He's got 4 hull left.
Wow.
He's got 1 less attack die, no action, and a bunch of other garbage.
So he's still going to take face-up damage cards, right?
And he
can't flip him. Yeah.
He's going to get another stress, not get an action. Yep. It's terrible.
Wow.
And he gets blocked. Oh, this is brutal. So I'm wondering if he's going to move much at all.
He might just stay where he is, yeah.
And maybe my template as well.
He's got that Y-wing to get around, too.
I might fit in there, but I'm not sure. Oops.
There's that lovely Australian accent. Is anybody from Australia watching the stream?
Does that look? Yeah. Yeah? We'll just leave the template there. I'll slide it out. There we go. I'll roll another one. Please be kind.
Yep, so he lands on the debris field, rolls for damage. I think he took, which is probably nice. And Soontir's going to out and try and get around that Y-wing. Thing to point out, looks like Cherno takes no damage this turn, though. There's no shots. There's the A-wing. That's it.
Yeah, the A-wing.
And the A-wing is, he's got 4 hull left. The A-wing's probably not enough to kill him. Dry Penguin asking, what does face-up damage mean and why is it so bad? So the damage deck. Mark, do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, whenever you, so on the attack die, there are 2 different damage icons. One is filled in, that's normal damage. You take those face down and they count against your hull value. If you take a number of damage cards equal to your hull value, the ship's destroyed. The other symbol is the damage icon that's got a dot in the middle, which is the critical damage icon. When you take that, instead of taking a card face down, you take it face up. So not only does it count against your hull value, but it also triggers some bad effect on you.
And they're all terrible.
Yeah, none of them are good. Some of them prevent you from taking actions or add stress, or some of them are just double damage. So face up is always worse than taking something face down.
Yep. So yeah, the critical damage effects on the back of those cards can really, they have the potential to decide games. So if you're taking every single card that way, it's pretty terrible.
Yep.
Okay. Start of the combat phase.
And especially when you have them stacked up like that. All those cards give a negative ongoing to Cherno, and he's now got, what, 5? 6 of them.
We're going
Yeah.
the Y-wing.
So he's shooting at the Y-wing with Decimator.
3, 2. Predator.
Yeah, I think so. We'll find out when he rolls evade dice. Yeah, so actually, the Y-wing gets 2 defense dice because that shot's obstructed.
Right.
Because they're shooting through the debris field that they're both on. So the Y-wing dodges 2, takes just the 1.
Predator? Yeah. Range 1. You're right. Yep. Crit.
And now that's A-wing shooting back.
Another major hull breach.
Another major hull breach.
So all cards will be face up twice
And
now.
and another, I didn't see what the other one was, but I don't think it matters much.
It doesn't.
This is terrible.
Yeah, I'm getting all.
2 major hull breaches.
Just for reference, guys, every crit has 2 copies in the deck, except for the direct hit, which is just 2 damage. There's 7 of those. 33 crits in the deck, or 33 cards in the deck. 7 of them are direct hits, so there's
13 others.
26 other, 13 others, 2 copies of each. So that's how the damage deck breaks down.
Structural damage. Reduce your agility by 1. Perfect. It's now a -1.
Yeah, Sharno is stressed, so.
Yeah.
We have a great, oh yeah, I don't know if he rolled for console fire. Roll for console fire? Sharno? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it looks like he did roll at some point. I mean, this could be an amazing game if we get to see a Soontir versus 4-ship endgame.
Yeah.
Or it could also be over really quick.
Yeah. Yeah, looking here to start. I believe it's turn 9 for them. So here we go here.
The other thing that brought up is that even if Soontir can wipe this table, give it enough time, the question is, will he have enough time to do all that damage before time is called?
Yeah.
Soontir's worth 35 points. Any combination of 2 of the ships on the table right now outscores Soontir.
Yep.
So he has to kill 2 of them in order to even get a modified win. Wildcard Syndicate and everybody else is talking about bonus agility. Yeah, so the agility dice for both range for obstacles is an extra die. It's not +1 agility. So even if your agility is reduced, you'll still get that extra die for the range and for the obstacle.
Yep.
And some guys pointed that out in the chat too, but I just wanted to make sure we did bring.
Yes. Yeah, I think Snake pointed out that you can't go negative, and you are correct. It was a very bad joke. Okay, let's see here.
A-Wing's gonna bump. Not a lot of options for him there.
Yeah. And there's just tokens floating out the field. I don't know what they're assigned to, but I'm sure we'll figure that out.
Those are all on Cherno.
Oh,
That's all the crit markers, denoting that Cherno has a bunch of crits to remember. And then the stress, too. I think at least most of them are.
Yep. Looks like that Decimator's 6 crits short for having all those tokens that you have at this point.
Gosh, I can't even read all those, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Correct. Actually, somebody corrected me. Soontir needs to kill 3 ships to win.
Yeah. Yeah. He needs to.
Any combination of 2 is beating him. We've got 26 minutes left in the round, so I mean, it could happen. I'm not saying it can't, but it's going to be an uphill fight for sure, especially because that Y-wing's still out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, Reid started with 100 points. He's lost half of the points for, or maybe 99. Morgan Reid, 90. Morgan Reid started with 99 points. He's lost 32 points because that Decimator is below half its hull, which is why he's at 67 points. So it's 32 for Decimator at half, 35 for Soontir. Yeah, I don't think that the Y-wing had Soontir. Or if we did, he missed it, which is something that happens at Worlds. It's, like I said, 6 rounds of X-Wing so far, and we still got 2 more to go.
Yeah, that's tough.
Then the guys who advance tomorrow, the top 16, they're going to play 4 more rounds starting in the morning tomorrow. So not a lot of time to recover.
Yeah, someone asked earlier why we cut to 16. It is a very tight cut with a pool this big, but just with the number of events we have over the weekend and just the number of games people are going to play, world champion, and the runner-up will be playing 12 games of X-Wing in a day and a half, which is that's a lot. That's a lot.
So here we point out we've got a B-wing with a range, I'm guessing 1, maybe 2 shot on the decimator with a target lock and a focus. An A-wing with a shot, and I think the Y-wing, depending on what Soontir does, will have a shot on Soontir.
Yeah.
Any way we slice it, the decimator dies this turn. He's still stressed. He's still got, 2 major hull breaches. But the final rounds will happen tomorrow morning, so we'll be back on Twitch around 10 o'clock, 10:30, and we'll have 4 more rounds of top 16 single elimination. Somebody points out that's an insane amount of games, and it is.
It is.
Consistency is one of the most important things in order to win a world championship. Yep. You've got to be on point every single game. You can't get tired. You cannot get impatient.
Yep. So, so when I see the TIE swarm at the top that's flying 7 ships for 12 games, that's impressive. I mean, anyone that gets the top is impressive, but having the stamina to be able to do that is a feat.
So here, Soontir's still running scared. He cannot afford to take all that stress because the decimator goes down this turn. Next turn, everybody comes after him.
This is the decimator rolling against, I don't know what.
Y-wing.
Oh, okay.
Probably. That's who I would shoot.
That makes sense.
Weapons failure, so it's going to reduce the attack dice that the Y-wing gets to roll. Or is Morgan taking that damage? God, I'm not sure.
And a major hull breach.
Major hull breach for...
Currently my favorite card in the game because it's just so
that's the decimator dead.
Yep. Oh, he must have used Vader.
Oh, because why not? You're going to die anyways. Might as well put a damage on somebody. That makes sense. All right, I'm on board with that decision, Morgan. Now clean up with Soontir. Dirty is asking if once. I think he's going to at some point, but he's just got to be so careful, or you're just throwing him away.
Let's see. Got nothing there.
The half points for a big ship, they are rendered down.
Yes. You'll lose the larger half of it when you get down that way.
No, it's worth points rendered down.
Yes, you lose the larger half. You keep the smaller, right?
Yep. Sorry. Woo. So far, Blair has lost 1 ship. You see a lot of shields over there on those B-wings. They're unhurt. Looks like the Y-wing has... That's the wing. Still has a shield left, and I'm not sure what the Y-wing status is right now. Can't see that one.
Yeah, I don't... This is tough. I mean, you might be able to get in there as Morgan and get a ship or 2 and make your margin of victory a bit smaller.
Looks like the Y-wing probably has 3 hull left. Somebody's talking about Soontir shooting at it. And the Y-wing has a major bridge too, apparently, so it's taking all its cards face up.
Yeah, yep.
It's only 1 agility. It's probably going to go down quick here.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see Blair try and capitalize before the Y-wing goes down and try and take Soontir off. Yeah, I think PC Gamer Pirate has it. We're going to see that Y-wing just pull a hard 2 and make a big zone that Soontir just does not want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be very hard for Soontir to get in that situation. Yep, there we go. There's the hard 2. Even with a hard 2 and boost, I don't think he gets it. Maybe a hard 1. Is Soontir stressed? I can't see.
Oh, I can't see anything now.
I would assume he is, but he usually is.
Gonna try and
he hard 1's out. Yeah, I can't help but feel like that's a mistake. You're just
delaying what's going to happen.
Yeah, the Y-wing can hard 2 the other direction next turn and keep him in arc. And we know exactly where Soontir's going next turn. He's hard 1ing one direction or the other.
Yeah, that's all he's got left.
So brings up, somebody's saying that Morgan choked, and I don't think that's quite fair in situations like this. When you see a hard counter to a linchpin of your list, it can be very, very hard to stay collected and approach that in the most efficient way. So, like if I'm flying, if he's got Soontir and I've got Blount with Ion Pulse, you'll see people who just they kind of freak out, and rightfully so. It's something that you really have to be aware of.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you've really kind of inoculated yourself against that oh shoot moment, it's going to be very, very hard to keep it, at the highest level when you're confronted by something like that. So it's not quite fair to accuse him of something like that, especially in this long of a day.
Yeah.
And he's up against something that's really made to just shut his ace down.
Yeah, I mean, round 1 started this morning at 10, and we are now at 8 something.
It's 8:30, so we're 10 and a half hours into X-Wing today, guys.
They've had an hour break in that time, so it's been a long day, and yeah, when you get that bad matchup, it's sometimes very little you can do to pull anything out if you get someone that's really going to hard counter you like this.
Yeah, and Blair, as somebody else pointed out, Blair has been flying. He's been executing his plan pretty much flawlessly.
Yeah.
He consistently blocked that decimator.
Yep. Put him exactly where he wanted him, controlled where he was moving, got some really good shots off on him. Yep. I think this is going to be a very. I don't see much good coming from Morgan out of this round, unless he just flies the ship off the board.
That'll be interesting. I'm not sure if that Y-Wing can hard 2 or not towards Soontir. I don't know if it puts it on the rock, to be honest. It's hard to tell at this angle.
That's true. Does Y-Wing have a hard 1?
No. And if it did, it would be red, which it couldn't do right now anyway. It's got a hard 2. It's got a hard 3, which is red. It's got 3 bank. Brandon, Soontir did barrel roll back. He was actually closer to the edge of the board, I think, before.
Yep, he did. He barrel rolled to what would be the top.
Yep, and away from the edge.
Yep.
The Y is a BTLA-4, so it can only fire in its firing arc, but it can fire 3 times. And guys, this is in Roseville, Minnesota at the Fantasy Flight Game Center.
Minnesota, that is correct, except for now when it's tropical outside.
I agree, guys. I do think that the hard 2 on the Y will work, and honestly, I don't see much reason to not try it. So I think that's what we're going to see.
Nope, he's going to go
Interesting.
Forward.
He's just going to hit the A-wing?
Interesting.
I wish we could see the alternate future where he does the hard 2. So this actually gives Soontir a chance. He's going to take fire from the B-wings, but he doesn't get double stressed. Oh,
go
he goes the other way. Oh, I think that was a mistake, though. Because now the Y-wing has him next turn.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think Dobat lays eggs, nails it. Soontir hard right. But now he gets stressed by that Y-wing probably, unless he's short. Next turn, he definitely takes it. Interesting. So maybe that was a calculated move by Blair to cover that direction. I didn't really see Soontir going that way, but apparently Blair did. Things you see.
You can't hurt him, so.
Oh, somebody's asking about the 3 aces list and like the Miranda list we saw earlier, how they would fare against this Rebel list. Keep in mind that Miranda list is only 1 ship short of this list.
Sure, yeah.
It's got 2 TLT, also got the stress bot, and it doesn't much care if it takes the stress from the stress bot. That Rebel list versus this one would be a very good matchup.
Yeah, that'd be
the
fun.
TLTs, the 2 of them in the other list would do work on the B-wings.
Yep.
You can probably drop one in 2, maybe 3 rounds of shooting. And then the Z95s will do the same thing. So that would be a pretty good matchup. The Aces list, it'd have to be flown very, very well, and they'd have to get all their guns on that Y-wing to get off the table.
So yeah, Soontir's just going to slide around the edge of the map at this point. He's got, what, a bank 1, probably?
He can't bank 1, so he's going to have to hard 2.
Okay.
A 2 bank, I would not do that close to the edge of the board, and at this angle, I can't tell if he can do it. That's green. Hard 2 is green as well. But yeah, we're going to see him 1 bank there and just set up a huge net that Soontir does not want to.
Now, when 2 ships just like that, they just can't shoot each other, right? That's the rule?
Correct.
You don't get an action when you bump into someone else.
Yep.
Yep, that's it.
Somebody asking if Soontir has any damage. He doesn't. He hasn't been shot at yet.
Nope. Yeah, the B-wing's coming around. This is going to be, if anyone likes to watch dice being rolled, this is the round for you.
I was surprised if this other B-wing K turns.
Really? Just prepares in case there's another. Yeah,
Just to go back. I mean, I guess he's not going to. He could also barrel roll south of the rock,
sure.
which I think we might see. There we go. Yeah, you just want to open up your turn to go after Soontir next turn.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, the Mariner Revelist did have 5 ships, and so did this one. So it would be a even match in terms of numbers. That would have been a good game to see.
So Soontir attacks first. Who do you attack here?
You go for the Y-wing. He's taking all damage up, face up, and he is.
Where's he going?
He's boosting. Oh, he can't. Oh, wait, what? I'm confused.
He's going to barrel roll. And then boost?
Yeah, guys, we won't be streaming any of the Team Epic games. Sorry, that's a long game, and we'll have other things on the stream at that point. Yep. That'll be on Friday evening, though.
Okay, here it is.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker. He's got to spend the focus to get the attack on the Y-wing. So that's 2 crits to the Y. It could kill it. I think it had 3 hull left.
There's a
direct hit. So yeah, the Y-wing will actually go down, which is huge for Soontir. No stress.
But now he's got 3 more ships. I don't think that B in front has a shot.
I don't think so. The thing is here, if he doesn't kill Soontir's in the wind, he's gone.
Clear. Clear. Yep.
So the B's got a target lock. I believe he's got stealth device, so Soontir's rolling 4 dice. He's got auto thruster, but I don't think far enough.
Yeah, use the reroll.
Yeah, you have to at this point.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
3 hits.
2 of them.
Oh, that's brutal. 2 damage to Soontir, pops the stealth device. That A-wing is focus. We could see it end right here, guys.
A-wing's got 3 hits. One's a crit.
Oh,
watch 2 of them, but he takes the crit.
The crit takes him down, and that's Soontir dead.
That is it.
I need a bit of.
That was a very well flown game by Blair, setting up the trap for Cherno and executing it, and then getting Soontir too. That was a great game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Morgan could have done on that one.
I think he did not have the same level of plan that Blair did.
Yeah.
And Blair, even while it took a while to materialize, he was clearly going for a particular setup, and he got it exactly what he wanted.
Yep. No, that was.
Look at all the crits that Morgan is counting off. That's insane.
Every crit in the book.
That was a great demonstration of our new damage deck.
Yeah, it was. That was a lot of fun. That was a ton of fun. I love watching big swarm decks. You get to see lots of action, lots of ships fly around.
Yeah.
And just see the level of skill that those require. That was a lot of fun.
Guys, we'll see about trying to get that 3K wing or something crazy like that next game, because I know you guys have been enjoying the variety of lists. But thanks for watching this game. I think it was pretty cool to see what could have been a really tough matchup. But he really had a couple of good counters in there, and he used them really, really well.
Yeah.
This match brought to you by the new FFG damage deck.
No, that was a ton of fun. Yeah. Again, watching a 5-ship like that fly is always a lot of fun, especially when it's that well handled, that well controlled. The traps
and the variety. I mean, he had 4 different ships in there.
Yeah.
They all fly differently. They all have different upgrades and things like that, and you have to use them in the right way. If you're flying an Academy Swarm with Howl Runner, you've got 6 ships that are identical.
Yep.
Having different dials, different pilot skills, 3 different pilot skills to manage is a challenging thing to do.
Yeah.
And he really did execute very well.
Yep. No, that was great. See if there's any other questions you guys have about this.
We've got 2 more rounds, guys. So stick around if you're watching the stream. We're going to have 2 more awesome games tonight. And I'm guessing they're going to be just as cool as these last couple.
I hope so, yeah. I mean, we're getting some top tables, some top players at this point. I'm guessing the next round's going to start between 9:30 and 9:45 probably.
Something like that.
Ryan just showed something behind my head I didn't get to see. So
Don't worry about that.
perfect. It's fine. It's probably just about me. It's good.
I think it'll actually start sooner because we were only 26 minutes left a while ago. So, yeah, guys,
Sure.
it won't be too terribly long. We'll be back with another game, some more of these top tables. So, with 7 undefeateds, we're looking at 3 or 4 undefeateds after this round.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
we're really getting into the crop. Those guys who are able to play 7 or 6 games of X-Wing, flawless over and over and over again. Something that I can't do.
I know.
I mean, I've never had a great showing in Worlds. Even in Nationals, you know, I can win 5. I can't win 7 games. So, guys, we're going to see some really great play for these last 2 rounds. And then we're going to come back tomorrow morning and see even more back with Alex and Chris on the screen. So,
You definitely want to tune in tomorrow morning with the top tables if you like some X-Wing.
absolutely.
That's where it's at.
Cool, guys. Well, we are going to be shutting down here for a little bit. We'll be back with the next game. If you guys come up with any questions or anything, we can't answer any questions about the new board game that we announced, but check it out on the website. It's cool. That's my only thought for that. But yeah, let us know if you have any questions on other things.
Yeah, we'll be back in 15, 30 minutes. If you have any questions and stuff, please let us know. We'll be watching chat on and off throughout then. And we'll come back with round 7 of X-Wing. Hope to see you then.
All right.